this opportunity to thank you for your generosity, sir, in providing a spacious classroom for our learners. And we shall repay this by doing our best in providing quality education and a better academic performance of our learners.
We focused our advocacy on education because we believe that education is the greatest equalizer in life, because it will give every person the opportunity to succeed in life, no matter what his or her social background may be, if provided with the proper education. Security Bank Foundation is donating and formally turned over 2-story 4 classrooms each to the Ayusan Ora Elementary School, the Ilocos Sur National High School, and the Bigan Central School for a total of 12 classrooms.
And we are very happy that through the years, hindi nagsawa ang Security Bank. Natuloy rin po ang proyekto po ito at matutulungan po talaga ang mga estudyante natin sa Ayusan Pawa Elementary School, sa Bigan Central School, at sa Ilocos Sur National High School.
We are very lucky indeed because you are here with us, helping us, supporting us all throughout the way. Our school children can now have classrooms which are conducive to learning.
Security Bank will help create a brighter tomorrow for the next generation of Filipinos through better education.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank Security Bank Foundation Incorporated for the 2-story with 8 classrooms building. This has been of great help to the community, especially to our learners, that they will not be overcrowded in their classrooms.
Together with the students of Santa Monica High School, Division of Puerto Princesa City, owe deep sense of gratitude to the Security Bank Foundation Incorporated for the 2-story HCL school building to have conducive learning environment and a great factor to attain the vision of acquiring quality basic education of Santa Monica High School learners.
granting me my scholarship and helping us with my education.
More than anything, what's really good about the program is that it offers learning opportunities outside of our respective degree programs.
Your generous gift empowers me to fulfill my lifelong dreams.
I am honored to be one of the scholars that has allowed me to receive quality education.
I really can't wait to give back to the foundation that has helped me be one step closer to my goal.
I'm really looking forward for more activities. Thank you so much, SBFI, and more power.
Malaking tulong po ito sa aking anak, sa kanyang pag-aaral.
Lubos po akong nagpapasalamat ng marami sa itaas sa agency namin sa Security Bank Foundation.
No matter how busy it gets at work, you still have a chance to plant seeds of generosity through fun activities.
We saw the smiling faces and the entertaining intermission numbers of the scholars. A lot of the winners were also scholars, so even if we weren't winning, it felt good to be able to help.
And if you're going to look at it, it's not just helping the scholars, but also everyone who participates in it.
Congratulations, Security Bank Foundations. Keep it up. You're doing a great job helping our scholars.
We have nothing but gratitude towards Security Bank, which has provided us with 3 negative pressure ambulance units that greatly help us in our battle. Together, we have made history by being the first to employ a negative pressure system in response to the pandemic. We are delighted that you have chosen PRC as one of the beneficiaries of your humanitarian efforts, and of course, we are elated to celebrate this momentous event with you as our partner in serving humanity. Together, we will win. Happy 70th anniversary from the Philippine Red Cross.
Dear God, thank you for the opportunity to meet together. Please help us to come together to make this institution reflect your kingdom. Breathe life into our ideas and decisions. Help us build a team that has love and respect at its heart. Give us the strength to continue working for your kingdom in this time of pandemic. Lord, come give us the inspiration to be the best we can be. May we be a shining example of your goodness and truth within, wherever we are. Inspire our thoughts, discussions, and ideas, and continue to remind us that all that we do here today, all that we accomplish, is for the pursuit of truth for the greater glory of you. We ask these things in your name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, helas ng silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nanagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitingin, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay magtitingin. Luman ang araw ng walhagit pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Welcome everyone. Thank you for being part of the Security Bank webinar. Before we get started, let's go over a few things so we can all fully appreciate today's topics. Please be reminded that this webinar is recorded. List of attendees, messages, and other interaction will be automatically generated after the broadcast. First, test your speakers. You should be able to hear my voice clearly to get the most of your webinar experience. You can also check your screen now for interactive plugins we integrated to engage with you. This can be in a form of Q&A, polls, webinar chat, or even mini-games. To avoid distractions, please stay on mute if you are not presenting. Mics can be very sensitive, which means shuffling papers and eating will be easily heard by all attendees. You are always welcome to interact using the plugins provided or during the Q&A. If available in this current webinar tool, raise your hand if you have something to say so our event host can see and call you. If you're a speaker, we recommend you wear a headset with a built-in microphone during your presentation to reduce background noise. For video-on conferences, try to find an appropriate background with good lighting. When applicable, choose a safe digital background that will not distract other attendees. If you're attending the broadcast at home with your video on, keep in mind what you're wearing. Stripes and loud patterns can create an illusion of vibration, which can distract the speaker. We will begin in a few minutes. If you are having issues with connectivity, audio, or video, we can try to help you. Just message your event organizer here or via email. You can find the organizer's email in the event invite you received. Once again, let's all observe proper webinar etiquette. We all want our guests to get the most of the Security Bank webinar. To everyone who is already here, thank you for registering early. The broadcast will start shortly.
Hello and good morning to our teachers from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. And welcome to Security Bank Foundation's webinar on teaching at the right level, a new teaching strategy designed to help you and your students read better in 60 days. Thank you so much for making time. I know it's a Saturday and yet you're all here. And this just goes to show the dedication that we have as teachers. Talaga nga pong basta para sa bata, basta para sa bayan, ang guro, laging naririyan. I'm seeing a lot of guests today. Hello, hello. Kamusta po? Maraming salamat po sa paglalaan ng inyong oras ngayong umaga. Thank you so much for making time. Our dear teachers, before we proceed, I'd just like to ask for a very, very small favor. Can we try to do a sound check? I'm going to ask you to perform a specific action or type a specific word. If you can all hear us clearly, okay lang po ba yan? Sige po. To our teachers from Luzon, can you please confirm if you can hear us clearly by chatting a smiley face on the chat box? Smiley face po, mga taga Luzon. There. Oh, hello po. Hello po from San Pablo. Hello from Sir Francis. Sir Robert, hello, hello. Thank you. I got your email yesterday. Thank you so much. Sige po. Salamat po. This time, let's do a sound check to our teachers in the Visayas. Can we do a heart reaction, please? Heart, kasing-kasing, kasing-kasing. Ayan po. Yan, I'm seeing people from the Visayas. Yan, okay, nice. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you can hear us. So, Elena, good morning po from Bicol University. We're also seeing Sir Ma'am Jennifer. Hello po, Ma'am Girly. Yan po, very good. And also to our teachers from Mindanao this time, can we please do a fire reaction if you can hear us clearly? Fire reaction po. Fire emoji. Ayan, okay po. Si Sir Ibrahim, ayan, kita Sir Aljun, yan, hello. Hello po, good morning. And yes, there we go. You guys are really on fire. Maraming salamat po for today's session and we look forward to your participation later. And as this is also a new teaching strategy, can I also do a very quick check if we have school administrators here? Can we do the raise hand function, please? Raise hand function. Let's check how many. Okay, we have about 5, 6, 8. All right, sige po. We have some administrators here. Thank you so much for making time. Now that I'm sure that you can hear us clearly, please allow me to inform you of a few reminders. First, please kindly introduce yourself by chatting the following in the Zoom chat box. Please type your grade level, the grade level that you teach, the name of your school, where you are, and your nickname. For example, in my case, it's G1 Tikay Elementary School, Malolos, Bulacan. Can we do that now, please, so that we can acknowledge you? All right, thank you. To also earn a certificate of attendance, note that you have to accomplish the post-training evaluation and that this requires you to attend this webinar from end to start. We will be sending you a survey of the link after. Lastly, you may also post it in your to use the hashtag #SchoolsForBettys. Let's now please take a picture of ourselves. Ayan po, please bring out your phones and please take a selfie. Take a selfie of you taking the webinar. Yan, let's do it now. You can put reactions, heart, kasing-kasing. Any po, yan, pwede po natin gawin yan. Let's take a picture of yourselves now and post it in our social media accounts. Please don't forget to change the privacy setting of your Facebook post in public so that we can be able to screen grab it and share it for our upcoming press releases. You might be featured. And thank you very much. And once again, have a good morning. And we're about to start the program. Our dear teachers, Security Bank Foundation has long been developing and implementing programs that advance the quality of education in the country. This includes relevant training programs such as what we will enjoy today. To formally welcome us and start today's webinar, may we invite Security Bank Foundation's Trustee and Corporate Secretary, Ms. Melissa R. Aquino.
On behalf of the Security Bank family, we welcome you to this webinar
to enhance the reading competencies of our students. By way of background, Security Bank Foundation was established in 1993 to uplift the quality of life in communities where Security Bank has a presence through its education advocacy. We believe that education is the greatest equalizer in life, giving everyone the opportunity to succeed in life, no matter his social and economic background. We were guided by the wisdom of the proverb, "Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime." Our approach to our education advocacy is holistic. Security Bank Foundation provides funding for construction of classrooms compliant to DepEd standards, support of students via scholarship programs, training and support programs designed by Ateneo de Manila University and De La Salle Philippines, and the program participation of various stakeholders, including the local government unit, the Department of Education, the communities, and even clients and bank employees via a volunteerism component. We continue to explore more opportunities to advance our advocacy. The challenges of 21st century education and this pandemic have inspired us to partner with Knowledge Channel and Ateneo to produce 20 videos on English reading competencies aligned with the Department of Education curriculum. We focused on English reading to address the findings of global student assessments that Filipino learners lag in reading comprehension versus their international peers. We count on the support of the Department of Education and the schools present today in advising parents and students to watch the videos during the airing schedules, as well as asking their teachers to use the videos as standard learning delivery materials. We also look forward to teachers providing us documentation of students accessing the videos, as well as feedback through an online form to be made available at the Security Bank website. We will also reconnect with schools to monitor outcome indicators that will tell if we have been meeting our objective of improving the reading comprehension skills of our students. We still believe that more work needs to be done in advancing quality education. As long as Security Bank continues to do well, we shall continue pursuing our education advocacy. Through our efforts, we hope that Security Bank will help create a brighter tomorrow for the succeeding generation of Filipinos through better education. Thank you, and to God be the glory.
Thank you so much, Miss Melissa, for that very meaningful message. Indeed, our dear teachers, Ready, Set, Read was conceived because of two concerns. Just like what Miss Melissa had said, Ready, Set, Read was our response to the international assessments that showed us that Filipino learners lagged behind their international peers in terms of English reading. This was further worsened by the fact that COVID-19 prevented us from conducting face-to-face classes, which resulted into significant losses in the learning and mastery of competencies. Our dear teachers, how many of us have experienced encountering students who could not perform the basic competencies expected from them? Grade 3 students who couldn't read, or grade 5 students who had been frustrated readers since grade 1. This led Security Bank Foundation and AHA Learning Center to currently champion teaching at the right level, a teaching strategy or framework designed to help students improve their reading skills in less than 60 days. To give us a better idea about AHA Learning Center and teaching at the right level, may we invite one of the 2018 outstanding young men of the Philippines awardees and 2019 Obama Foundation awardee of the Asia and Pacific. He has also had multiple media appearances featuring his advocacy in education and targeted approach to improving student learning. AHA Learning Center President and Founder, Mr. Jayton Zulueta.
Nagpapasalamat po ako sa pagkakataon ulit magsama-sama po tayo dito sa AHA Learning Center. Nagpapasalamat kami sa Security Bank. Ito po yung last session ho natin. Ang tawag po sa kanya, Teaching at the Right Level. At alam kong interesado po kayo dito dahil nga ho, akmang-akma sa problema natin ngayon sa mga eskwelahan. Na yung mga anak natin, mga estudyante natin, tinatawag nating anak, no? At tinuturing nating anak, ay nagkakaroon ng napakaraming laking learning loss na bumabalik at may mga foundational skill sets nila, yung pagbabasa, pagbibilang ay hindi nila magawa na mabuti at nagkakaroon tayo ng malaking challenge bilang mga guro na ano ba yung tuturo nila? Itong estudyante ba natin, anong level ba talaga sila? Nasa grade 3 level ba tong estudyante ko, dapat ba ituturing ko siyang grade 1 dahil 2 taon na siya nawala? Itong estudyante ko na kala ko marunong basa, kaya ba niyang makisabayan ngayon sa aking mga lessons? Nung nalaman ko lang pala, si mama pala yung gumawa ng lahat ng modules niya. Ito mga practical na problema at yun yung dun kami nakafocus sa AHA Learning Center. Yung talaga kung nangyayari pang-araw-araw. At itong teaching at the right level po ay yung pinaka malaking blessing po sa organization namin. Hindi lang dahil sa pag-aaral at hindi lang po sa mga resulta na kuha ho namin na I think I forgot the stat, no? We're dagdag yung estudyante pero nasa 80% yung nag-improve yung kanilang literacy rate at numeracy rate. It's not because of that. Nakatulong sa amin ng teaching at the right level kasi tinuruan kami kung paano namin titingnan, pag-iisipan, pag-aaralan ang mga batang left behind po. Ang mga batang hindi nakakapagbasa, hindi nakakabilang, na medyo matanda na. Tinuturo sa amin ng teaching at the right level na lahat ng mga batang po ito ay may pag-asa. Lahat po ito ay pwede mabigyan ng plano. Lahat po ng mga bata na to ay maaring makahabol. Kung magsisimula lang ho tayo sa level kung saan sila talagang nandun pa muna. We will start at the level they're at. Minsan naisip natin, ano yun, diba? Parang this seems to be very practical or obvious. If you want somebody to learn how to dance, you start at the dance that they know. Kung magtatango ka at hindi siya marunong yung basic 1, 2, 3, 4 counting, magsimula tayo sa 1, 2, 3, 4. Education sometimes complicates things. We educators sometimes complicate things. We complicate things most of the time because it's not just the learning we have to think of. We have to think of all of their psychosocial health. We have to think about the resources we have and don't have at these schools. There's a lot to think about. But I think what is truly the blessing teaching at the right level had for my life was to tell me and remind me to focus on the child. Because the child will not only teach you the level that they need to be taught, but the child will teach you how exactly that he or she wants to learn. What an important lesson for us all. And I believe this is something that we can take up not only for the remedial classes, but in all of the different subjects, projects, or problems that we have. If somebody is not performing, we should get to the level they are first, understand the problem, figure out a plan where they can move forward. Hopefully, this next couple of hours will be as fruitful as it for you that it was for me. It was life-changing, that 11 or 12 hours that we spent in training. And I hope that we do justice to those learnings in the next hour. And I hope that you come out not only with a renewed sense of how to think about remediation, numeracy, and literacy, but a renewed sense of how you see your students. May pag-asa po sila. Kaya po nila at kakayanin. Maraming salamat po. Ako po si Jayton Zalueta ng AHA Learning Center. Thank you sa Security Bank at thank you sa lahat po nandito. Tayong pagbabago ating hinihintay. Salamat po.
I think we lost Sir Jayton, but anyway, thank you, Sir Jayton, for the work that you do in AHA Learning Center and for reminding us that no one is hopeless and no one needs to get left behind. And now, to go further into the details of teaching at the right level, please allow me to introduce today's facilitator. Miss Joella Ray, or Teacher Jo as she is fondly called, is a lead trainer in AHA Learning Center, where she handles her teachers and parents for training programs for different schools and partners. Previously, she was a teacher like us, a kindergarten teacher, in fact, in a progressive school in Mandaluyong City. There, she taught reading, number knowledge, the importance of rice in the community, among other things. But at the core of it all, her passion has always been to share her love for learning with her students. Since 2019, Teacher Jo continues to share this passion with parents, teachers, and students from the wonderful AHA community. Dear colleagues in the academe, AHA Learning Center facilitator for teaching at the right level, Miss Joella Ray.
Hello! Good afternoon po sa lahat. Ay, good morning! Good morning po sa lahat. Thank you for being here with us, teachers. I see that we have 423 teachers with us today. Welcome po sa inyong lahat at good morning! Pahingi naman po ng mga heart emojis kapag naririnig niyo po ako at ready na po kayo para sa ating training session ngayong umagang ito. Pahingi nga pong heart emojis. We need all the hearts that we could get. Ayan. Alam ko, nangingi po ako ng heart emojis kasi alam ko po, ang mga teachers natin ay punong-puno ng puso. Yan. Kaya po kayo nandito ngayon, no? On a Saturday. No? Kasi mahal na mahal niyo po ang students. Mahal na mahal niyo po ang ating bayan. Kaya maraming salamat sa inyo. At binabalik ko po lahat ng mga heart emojis na yan sa inyo dahil na-appreciate po talaga namin kayo sa lahat ng efforts na ginagawa nyo, no? And I would like to share this wonderful training with you po, no? Yung teaching at the right level, nabanggit nga po, no, kanina nila Teacher Jayton, nila Sir Carlo, no, about how teaching at the right level could help our students, especially now that we're experiencing tong educational crisis na to. Okay? So, mamaya, mas pag-uusapan po natin yan. Pero, very quick house rules. Teachers, please ask questions. Ask questions if there are things that you need to clarify. So, meron po tayong question and answer poll po dito sa Zoom. So, ask questions there. You may also ask questions sa chat box, pero po baka matabunan. Kaya I encourage you na dun po sa ating poll. Zoom question and answer poll, magtanong. We also have Teacher Celine with us who would help out answer these questions. So feel free to ask if at any point po during the training, baka biglang kailangan nyo ng clarification, or if you want to know more about teaching at the right level, please go ahead and ask question. And next, please use the react features of Zoom para po makita ko naman po kung ano yung reaction nyo. Pwede po kayo gumamit ng reaction or ng emojis dito sa chat box para naman alam ko kung kamusta na kayo, ano yung nararamdaman nyo, di ba? So please feel free Yan, nakikita ko may nagsismile. Hi, Ma'am Anna. Thank you for smiling. Ayan, meron na emoji. Ayan. Thank you po. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ayan, kasi hindi ko po kayo nakikita. I can see your reaction. Ayan, medyo naka-cool, naka-shade. Siguro ang init sa inyo, sir or ma'am. Ayan. Thank you po. Thank you po. Ayan. And lastly, this is a safe space for us to learn. So, pwede po tayong mag-share ng ideas. We would like also to learn from you. We would like the other teachers, for all of you to learn from each other. Hindi lang po sa amin manggagaling ang learning, sa inyo rin po. Kaya po, gawin po natin itong safe space. Okay? Again, feel free to ask questions. Use React Teachers para alam po namin kung ano nararamdaman nyo ngayon. Kung nainitan kayo, sige, go ahead. Kung hindi nyo po marinig, type nyo po sa ating chat box. And again, this is a safe space for us to learn. Okay, so, ano nga ba ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong umagang ito? We're gonna talk about teaching at the right level. And first, magkakaroon tayo ng TARL overview. Teaching at the right level, tinatawag din po namin siyang TARL. Ayan, pakitype nga po sa ating chat box, TARL. Yan, TARL means teaching at the right level. Okay, yan. Salamat po sa mga nag-chat. Okay, so dito sa TARL overview, we will talk about what are the current challenges in education, what the current challenges in education are, and how can TARL be the solution that we're looking for. Okay? And then number 2, TARL in the school community. We'll talk about how TARL works in schools. So we have applied and implemented TARL in different schools and schools in different schools. So it works. And where can TARL be applied? Ayan. And then number 3, the TARL literacy approach. Ayan. And the ready, set, read demo. Paano nga ba natin magagamit yung TARL sa isang, ano ba yung itsura na isang TARL lesson? Okay, and how can we do the TARL literacy approach? Okay, so teachers, ready na, ready na? Pag sinabi pong ready na, tatay po natin aha, aha. So teachers, ready na, ready na? Aha, aha, ayan. Thank you so much, teachers. Ayan. Wait lang po, ayan. Thank you, thank you. Ayan, hintayin pa po natin ang iba maging ready. Thank you so much. I love the energy, teachers. Kahit Saturday, grabe yung energy nyo. So, ayan, thank you so much. Sige, dahil dyan, bago tayong magsimula, meron akong tanong. Okay? Etong tanong ko ay, what is your shoe size? Ayun, ayan. May 40, may 7, may 6, may 8, may 37, size 8. I guess yan po yung mga US size, no? Ayan. Okay, go. 39, 4.5, 44. Okay. 37, 44, 36, 44. Ayan. Okay. Ayan, mukhang iba-iba po talaga yung mga shoe sizes natin, no? Parang di ko po matukoy kung ano po yung pinaka-common masyado. Although, ayan, I see a lot of 7s. Ayan, sunod-sunod pa yung 38 and 8. And then may 9. Okay, yung pinakamalaki po ate yung nakita kong 40. Ayan, may size 10. 44, ayan. Hindi ko lang po sure yung equivalent ng mga, ayan, may size 11. Para din sa size standards nandun. Okay, 36. Okay. Ayan, pwede nyo rin po tignan, i-go through lahat ng mga shoe sizes ng mga nag-send. Thank you po sa mga nag-participate. And I would just like you to take a hold of that thought. Okay, mamaya po explain ko po bakit ko tinanong ang inyong shoe size. Okay? Pero kung napansin nyo po, iba-iba po ang shoe size natin. Tama po ba? Hindi po pare-pareho. So, hindi po tayo pwede maghiraman ng shoes. Tama po ba? Okay. Sige. Opo, ayan, opo. Yes po, hindi po tayo pwede maghiraman ng shoes. But take note of that lang po. At mamaya papaliwanag ko, bakit ko tinanong ang inyong shoe size? Ano lang po, disclaimer, wala po kaming papamigay na shoes. Pero hindi po natin sure, baka si Sir Carlo biglang may bigay na shoes. Tingnan po natin. Joke lang po. Ayan. So, dumako na po tayo sa pinakaunang bahagi ng ating training, yung TARL overview. Ano nga ba itong TARL? Okay, teaching at the right level. Sino po dito familiar sa kanila yung TARL? Or first time marinig? Kapag first time niyo po marinig, press 1. First time niyo po marinig ngayon dito sa Security Bank, press 1. Kapag narinig niyo na po, press 2. Ayan, mukhang alat. First time po talaga. Okay? Press 2 po sa mga nakarinig na nito before. Ayan, merong isa nakita ko nakarinig na before. Si Ma'am Sherry. Sila Ma'am Mary Ann. Baka nakasama na po kayo sa isa sa mga training po namin, no? So welcome po dito. Kailangan ko po tulong nyo para mapaliwanag sa iba nating kasamahan kung ano po yung TARL. Thank you po. Ayan, karamihan po sa atin, first time po marinig tong TARL. And para po mas maliwanagan tayo kung ano nga ba to, pag-usapan muna natin yung mga current challenges in education at mamaya po, bakit nga po ba solusyon ng TARL. So, dumako na po tayo dito. What are our current challenges in education? Bago po ako mag-next slide, pwede po bang i-type niyo po sa ating chat box, i-share, o kaya raise your hand if you want to share. Ano po ba yung mga nararanasan nating challenges ngayon? Mas lalo na po ngayon, bumalik na po tayo sa face-to-face class. Ano na po yung mga nararanasan nating challenges? So feel free to share sa chat box or raise your hand para i-unmute po kayo at makapag-share kayo. So meron po dito nag-raise ng hand si Ma'am Sir Teacher Hinlayagan. Ayan, Teacher Sherry, yes po, go ahead. You can unmute po You're permitted to talk po. Meron po kayong permission to unmute. And si Teacher Blessy, habang naghihintay po sa iba, you can share po. Ano po yung mga challenges na nararanasan niyo po sa ngayon sa education? Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm Teacher Blessy from SDO Masbate Province. The current challenges in education for us is the availability of the learning materials that we have for our learners, the distance between our learners from the school, especially we are conducting the modular distance learning. We are it is very difficult to reach out the children, especially in the highlands, in the uplands, where we need to walk at least 3 kilometers to reach them. And the third one is the strategy that we are using today. It is yung mas challenge sa atin yun. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Teacher Blessy. Ayan. So yung lack of materials, lack of resources, marami rin po nagsasabi dito sa ating chat box. No? Accessibility nito sa mga estudyante, accessibility na education sa ating mga estudyante. At yung pangatlo po, yung strategies po na thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. We will talk more about that later on. Thank you po. Meron pa po dito, learners show lack of interest in learning bulk paperworks. Okay? Parang, I believe that yung iba po, parang more of paperworks kaysa mas nakakaturo, if that's how I understood it. Going back to basic, especially to pupils na hindi natutukan sa bahay. So now that we're going back to face-to-face, Yung 2 years po na nag-online class sila, modular learning, na skip po yung mga basic skills na kailangan na ma-strengthen sa kanila. Okay, I think that's it po. Learning gap. Teacher Ray said the reading status and level of our teachers. Now we are in the deliberation stage, and it is so surprising that they always got a perfect score in their modules. But we did a face-to-face assessment for reading, and to our surprise, most of them are slow readers to non-readers. Hope we can learn some strategies from your team po. Of course, we're here to share these strategies with you. So thank you so much po. Okay, one last, si Teacher Belinda Quemado. Would you like to share po your concerns po or challenges in education? Teacher Belinda? There's also the lack of parent support. Yes. Ayan, since I'm teaching grade 3, I'm finding it hard to teach English since the skills are too difficult for the pupils. Ayan. Teacher Belinda, yes po. Go ahead. Hello. Wala ako pa. Tinawag ba ako niyo? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Naka-raise po kayo ng hand. Hello, ma'am. Teacher Belinda. Teacher Belinda Quemado. Hello, ma'am. Sorry, napindot lang po. Okay, mukhang nawala si ma'am. Okay lang. Teacher Sherry, are you there? Teacher Belinda, naka-unmute na po kayo? Okay, sige. Last one. Sige, last call. Teacher Sherry. Ayan.
Good morning po, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
In our case, it's also the students, the pupils are there, but actually the one who will answer mostly, it's the parents. Sometimes they even dictate the child to use these answers.
Ayun po. No? It seems that the students are answering, but they aren't talaga. No? So meron din po ibang teachers nag-share niyan na parang yung parents pala yung sumasagot ng modules after all. No? So thank you so much, teachers, for sharing all these concerns. And the reason why we're here, because of all these concerns. That's why we keep on looking for ways, no, to help out, no, especially po yung mga teachers natin na ang dami na rin pong ginagawa, ang dami pong iniisip. Kaya nandito po kami para tumulong. Pero ano nga ba mismo itong mga pinaka-concern natin? Andyan yung students unable to reach minimum standards expected of their grades. Mas lalo na po ngayon, no, na 2 years level behind po sila. Kung meron po ako na-interview mga ilang teachers sa iba't ibang, even outside Manila, no, na 2 years level behind, na para kung ano sila po pre-pandemic, kung ano po yung kaya nilang gawin pre-pandemic, ganun pa rin noong bumalik sila ng face-to-face classes ngayong 2022. So, what did they learn during the 2 years? Diba? I'm sure meron naman po kahit papano. Pero ano po yung mga na-build nila? Paano po kaya na magme-make up din po for those 2 years? And then, katulad ng sinabi ni teacher kanina, the availability of learning resources is relatively limited. So, meron din ako nakita dito mga lack of reading materials, lack of learning resources, no? So, if we don't have those, it's so hard to teach, no? It's so hard for the students to learn if there's a lack of available learning resources. And then, number 3, there is an exhaustion among parents, especially the teachers. Exhaustion kasi, ayun, bulk paperworks, and at the same time, the parents are working, they can't focus on teaching their students. There's also the lack of parent support. Because sometimes, instead of teaching their students, they'd rather work for a living kasi wala silang makakain, no, sa isang araw, hindi sila magtatrabaho. So, Ano yung resulta nito? Ang resulta is this. According to PISA, 2018 Philippine National Report, 19.4% lamang ng Filipino students achieve at least the minimum proficiency level in overall reading literacy. Ibig sabihin, halos 20% lang ng klase mo yung proficient sa pagbabasa. At 19.7% Filipino students attain at least the minimum proficiency level in mathematical literacy. 20% lang ulit ng estudyante nyo. And the pandemic made this much, much worse. So here, 10-year-olds can't read. Grade 5 students can't read. The dawning of the Philippine education because of the pandemic. Then lumabas din dito sa Aral Pilipinas na 9 out of 10 Filipino kids age 10 can't read. How alarming is this? Diba? Lockdowns impact. So parang instead na dalawa yung kayang magbasa, yung proficient yung level sa pagbabasa, isa na lang yung estudyante na kaya. Diba? UNICEF cites poor reading skills among Filipino kids. Less than 15% of school children in the Philippines can read. Less than 15%. So bumaba na talaga from the 20% to the 15%. So actually, hindi na to. 2 out of your 10 students have the basic skills for reading and math. 1 out of 10 na lang. So what does this tell us? What does this tell us, teachers? This tells us how much work that we need to do. Ngayon, pabalik na po tayo sa face-to-face learning. How much we need to catch up on. At ang dami. Tapos, hindi ko po kayo binibigyan pero, di ba, I'm sure naiisip nyo na rin po to. Ang daming kailangan gawin para matulungan yung mga bata. What if, to make it more real, pangalanan natin yung mga bata. So si Sedi at si Carla lang yung kaya magbasa at kaya mag-perform ng basic mathematical operations. The rest, sila Badong, si JM, si Peter, si Richard, si Angela, si Jen, si Paula, saka si Kaloy, hindi nila kaya magbasa. No? Ngayon, paano natin sila tutulungan? Ang pagkakaalam ko, yung mga remediation po sa ilang schools, may one-on-one. Tama po ba? May one-on-one, minsan after school. Tama po ba? Or correct me if I'm wrong. Ayan, may mga one-on-one. Okay? Imagine nyo po, kung grade 4 class po kayo, diba 10%, diba? Mga 10 to 15% na lang yung kaya magbasa. At yung iba, let's say, let's stick to this. 80% po ng 40 students nyo hindi po kaya magbasa. Tapos mag-one-on-one po kayo dun sa lahat ng yun. On top of your regular classes. Ano po yung nararamdaman nyo ngayon? Ano po yung masasabi nyo po doon? 80% one-on-one po lahat doon. So 80% ng 40 ay 32. 32 students, 32 students. Tama po ba? Tama po ba ako? Baka mamaya mali yung po. 32 students. I-one-on-one nyo po sila lahat. Mahirap kasi kulang sa oras po yung one-on-one. Mahirap po, no? So what do we do about this? Kung mahirap, kulang sa oras, si teacher ang daming ginagawa. Ano mangyayari kay Badong? Badong reached grade 4 without being able to read words and perform basic operations in math. So, he had a hard time meeting the standards for grade 4. Tama po ba? But, because of the no-fail policy, Badong got promoted to grade 5, still without the basic skills for reading. At dahil yan, nahirap po yung teachers. It's a burden for the teachers, yun nga po, no? Kasi the teachers can only do so much. You have a lot to do. So, hindi po na-accommodate po lahat ng mga bata. So, yung mga bata hindi na-accommodate lahat, nakakapasa po ng grade level, nakakapunta po ng higher grades or even high school nang hindi nakakabasa. No? That is without TARL or any intervention. But let's say we have TARL. No? What could happen if it's with TARL? Badong reached grade 4 without being able to read words and perform basic operations in math. He will take a class with all the 32, no? 32 of his classmates that help they would take this class that would help them build their foundational literacy and numeracy skills. So after 60 days, in just 2 months, let's say 2 months, Badong was able to read stories and perform multiplication of up to 2-digit numbers. Gusto niyo po ba yun? In just 2 months, they could read. Students like Badong could read stories and perform multiplication, no, of up to 2-digit numbers. Or could also be division. Diba? With conceptual understanding. So ngayon, this is the key, no? Yung teaching at the right level. But before that, I would like to ask you this question. What does it feel like to wear shoes that are not your size? Paano po yung mga size 8, magsasat ng size 5? O kaya yung mga size 44, magsasuot ng size 35, 36. Yan, merong uncomfortable. Ano pa po? Uncomfortable, sige. Hindi fit sa'yo, not suitable. If it's not suitable, ano nangyayari sa'yo? Ano yung nararamdaman? Imagine nyo po, nagsuot kayo ng shoes na hindi nyo po size. Can't walk properly. It would be hard to go to places. It's painful, irritating, and uneasy. Can't walk comfortably. Feeling lonely. Bakit po kaya feeling lonely? It's also stressful. Stress dahil pinipilit. Yan. Gusto ko po is note niyan. Di makakalakad ng maayos. Mahirap. Minsan madataba ka pa. Hindi ka makalakad ng maayos. Discomfort. Shameful. It will lessen your confidence. It will be hard to walk. Mahihiya ka. Maglakad. Maaaring pagtawaran ka. Di po ba? Kaya mairita ka talaga. No? So if you feel these things, minsan ba nafe-feel nyo na maglakad na lang or hindi na lang maglakad? Diba? Minsan po parang ayaw nyo na lang maglakad. Yes, we'll decide to stop walking. Hindi ka na lalabas ng bahay. No, hindi, kayo na lang maglakad. Hindi na ako sasama. So minsan kaya mafe-feel ang mga friends nyo, for example. Wala kasi akong shoes na kasya sa akin. Baka feeling nila, ay baka ayaw nito. Ayaw mo kaming kabanding. Or KJ. Diba? Or minsan, tamad. Ayaw lumabas ng bahay Diba? Sabi, tanggalin ng shoes para mas maayos makalakad. Pero kailangan din po natin ng shoes, diba? Para maprotektahan yung ating mga paa. Para mas makalakad ng maayos. Kasi po, baka mamaya makaapak tayo ng bubog. Diba? So, it will be difficult to move forward. You will lose the chance to experience the outside world. You will become the laughing stock. We might not be able to move at all. So yung mga sinabi nyo po, yung mga description nyo tungkol sa pagsasuot ng ibang shoe size ay related din po. Very similar po siya sa teaching children at their right level. What if children are not learning at the right level? They will feel shame. They will feel less confident, no, about learning. They would just rather not learn at all. They would just stay at home. They would try to get away from learning because they are not taught at the right level. There would be no learning. That's the worst case scenario. There will be no learning at all. No. Others may laugh at them because they are failing. Hindi sila makamove forward eh. Diba? They walk funny. No? Quote unquote walk funny. Like when they have different shoes, when they wear shoes that are not of their size. No? Anxious. They would feel anxious. They are prone to be bullied. Diba? And half of their life, no, losing, hindi makakasabay sa peers nila. They will lose the chance to experience the outside world more. Na optimal, no? Optimal experience of the outside world. All kinds of discomfort will be felt ng mga bata not learning at the right level. So, ngayon po, Tarl, the solution that we're looking for. Teaching at the right level. Paano po ba nito ma-address at ano nga ba to? Una sa lahat po, ang teaching at the right level is an education program that tailors the instruction to the learning level of the child. No? Rather than their age. So we really target kung ano po yung learning level ng bata. Yun. Okay? The result is that basic literacy and numeracy is achieved by students before they finish primary school. Okay? The goal is to strengthen their basic skills in literacy and numeracy. Para po pagdating po sa higher concepts or more complicated concepts, mas kaya po ng mga bata. Okay? And teaching at the right level is developed by Pratham, considered to be one of the best education NGOs in the world. So Pratham is based in India, and they have done this program and have proven po na talagang kayang-kaya pong gawin. In just 60 days or 2 months, nakakapagbasa po ang mga bata with comprehension at kaya po nila mag-perform ng basic mathematical operations. And they have done so also in other countries like Africa. Iba't ibang countries po pala sa Africa, no? And now it's in the Philippines. Pratham trained us po, and we have practiced, we have done classes, style classes, no? And we are sharing this with you. We are sharing this overview with you. No, itong teaching at the right level. Kung ano nga ba itong teaching at the right level, and if this is something that you could implement in your school. So, ano po ba yung mga ina-address na teaching at the right level at paano ito nagiging solution? So again, a while ago, we identified the challenge that students are unable to reach minimum standards expected of their grades. But in TARL, many Filipino children are not in their supposed level. But regardless of age or grade, teaching in TARL starts at the level of the child. And they are learning with their peers of the same learning level. Okay? So sa class, magkakasama po yung mga kaya po magbasa ng words pa lang. No? Magkakasama yung mga bata na kaya magbasa ng paragraph. And then the teacher will direct instructions according to their learning level para mas madali po sila makamove forward with their learning level. So, may peer learning na naka-address pa sa kung anong kailangan nila yung mga ituturo natin. Okay? So, yun po yung TARL. Andyan din yung the availability, yung challenge, na the availability of learning resources is relatively limited. But in TARL, we focus on high quality, low cost, and replicable interventions and materials. So, pag napagdaanan nyo po yung training ng teaching at the right level, so we have training pa po, no? So this is just an overview of what TARL is. At pinapakilala pa lang po namin basically kung ano yung TARL. But yung training po mismo, doon nyo po malalaman kung gaano kadali lang po gumamit ng mga materials para maturuan yung mga batang magbasa. Sobrang high quality, low cost po, guaranteed. No? So the teachers from our different school partners have done this. At napatunayan na po namin, no, na with the resources that they have, na as simple as writing their own paragraphs for the children ng mga teachers, na madali lang po isulat, no, na peer-reviewed din po. Mas nakakabasa po yung mga bata. Mas natututo at mabilis po nakakabasa yung mga bata. And then, there's also the identified challenge that there is an exhaustion among parents, especially teachers, dahil sa dami po ng ginagawa. But in TARL, teachers and students are focused on the teaching and learning of the foundational skills. So in the TARL program, wala pong grades dyan. It's really all about assessing the level of the learners, so that the teacher knows how to teach them. The teachers knows what the children need. So mabibigay agad kung ano yung kailangan ng mga bata. Hindi yung may unnecessary lessons pa para sa kanila. So they spend time, no? They spend time learning that when they're not ready yet. O kaya parang napagdaanan naman na nila. So we put them at the right level. And the teachers and students just focus on the teaching and learning of the foundational skills. Sobrang simple lang po. So ano po ba yung mga support pieces? So meron tayong implementation teams. We need teachers, right? We need the teachers here to do this. So I'm just here to have more people on board. Nandito po ako para hikayatin kayo na samahan kami, na tulungan pa yung mga estudyante, no? At kayo po yun, mga teachers. Hindi lang po ang AHA Learning Center at Security Bank Foundation. Kayo po ay napaka-importante. Importante po kayo na maging parte po ng team na ito. Yan. So yan po ang support pieces, yung assessment, no? Yung mga materials. Meron po tayong available materials if you take the training. And then there's also the classroom methodology. Paano ba ito tinuturo? So na-mention ni Ma'am kanina, strategies. You will learn a lot of it, no, during our training. And then there's monitoring. So dito po sa TARL, hindi lang po to basta na, okay, titrain ko kayo, bahala na kayong mag-implement. No? Pero ang aim po ng TARL, kapag tinuro po namin, no, meron po tayong training na intensive po talaga for a few days po of training. And then, may monitoring part. So, i-monitor natin kung kamusta kayo, di ba? Ano pa yung kailangan yung support? What can we do to improve? So, there's a monitoring and mentoring aspect in the TARL approach. So, in the TARL classroom, very simple steps lang po. Yan. Ayan, sabi ni Ma'am Lucita, focus on the main problem of the learners. Exactly, ma'am. We focus on the main problems of the learners. Para, eto lang po, paano po ba natin yun magagawa? First of all, you assess so that you know what the children needs. Number 2, you group the students. So, kanina po, di ba, na-mention natin na karamihan sa mga interventions talaga, reading interventions especially, one-on-one. And it's really a lot for the teachers to take in. But in TARL, we group the students together kung ano yung mga kailangan nila. So mamaya po makikita nyo po yung mga learning levels ng mga bata at papaano po sila pwedeng magrupo. Then number 3, foundational skills. We focus on the basic skills for a period of the day or year. So kung ano po yung kailangan nilang skills, yun po yung tuturo natin. And then, basically, after doing all these things, learning outcomes improve. And children are reassessed and move through the levels as they progress. They don't just stay in one level in the period of 60 days. By day 10, baka mag-move na po sila from letter to word. By day 30, baka nasa paragraph level na po sila. By day 45 or day 50, baka nasa story level na po sila. No? And then, so on and so forth. 'Di ba? So, hindi lang po sila nagstay in one because again, we teach the children at the right level. Hindi yung parang po pag 1 year, 'di ba? Kailangan nila matapos ng grade 3, the next year grade 4 na, next year grade 5, hindi po siya ganon. Okay? So, ano nga ba yung 4 domains of TARL? Ito po, dito po yung assessment, data recording, and grouping. Yan, data recording and grouping. So ito po ay napaka-importanting aspeto, yan yung pinakauna aspeto na kailangan natin tignan. At pangalawa, yung activities and teaching learning materials. That we can talk more about when you take the TARL training po with us. So, ayan, abangan na lang po kung may announcements po, please answer our post-evaluation form later and let us know if you are interested so that we can send you announcements po regarding the training. Then third, lesson procedure and the class management. Ano ba yung flow ng lesson? Paano ba minamanage yung mga students to make sure na even yung mga class rules, makakatulong para mas matuto sila. And then lastly, the monitoring and mentoring. Na napaka-importanteng aspeto po nitong TARL na we will really coordinate with school group leads or the TARL coordinator of your schools para po mas matulungan at mas masuportahan kayo sa implementation po ng teaching at the right level program sa inyong school. So, those are the 4 domains of TARL. And I would also like to share with you kung ano po ba yung philosophy po ng TARL. So it's really learning for all para po sa teaching at the right level. Okay? And versus schooling for all. So kung titingnan nyo po, no, education aspect, yung goal po sa TARL is to really ensure basic foundational skills in reading and arithmetic for all. It's not about finishing the grade level syllabus or curriculum. It's not about that. So, when you implement TARL and when you teach the TARL class, you won't be pressured by, hala, dapat tapos na yung lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3 by today or by next week. Diba? Tapos parang, hala, ang tawag dito, merong cancellation ng classes. Kailangan bigyan yung mga students ng ganito, ganyan, kadaming lesson or assignment. It's really not about that. It's really making sure that the children learn the basic foundational skills or the foundational skills in reading and arithmetic. It's about that. It's really about learning for the students. Yun po yung learning for all. And then for the training and mentoring, our trainers are leaders of practice. Those who have taught in class, no? Those who have taught TARL classes can train other teachers and provide ongoing training and mentoring. So if you take our training and you implement TARL in your school, then you can be trainers. Okay? Versus po, yung mga resource persons as trainers, most often po, no follow-ups from trainers. Parang, I teach you, go do it yourselves, bahala kayo. Diba? But in TARL, the principle is, kung sino po yung, diba, tinuruan ka kayo, train namin kayo, in-implement you sa school, we will help you, we will make sure na marami kayong matutunan, diba? Ma-implement nyo siya, malaman kung ano yung support na kailangan yun para mas mapabuti pa yung implementation. And at the same time, kayo rin mismo, pwede kayo mag-train. Okay? Pwede kayo mag-train sa mga teachers sa inyong schools. And then, sa grouping, children are grouped by level rather than their grade for instruction. Versus, sa schooling for all, full class teaching at grade level. So imagine, you all have different shoe sizes. And binigay lang po namin sa inyo lahat, size 5. Lahat kayo, size 5 lang. Kasi, nandito kayo sa class natin eh. Nag-sign up kayo dito. Size 5 lang lahat. Ano mafe-feel nyo? 'Di ba? Hala, hindi kasya sa akin. Hala, sayang naman. So, dun sa Learning for All, children are grouped by level. Para alam natin kung ano yung tamang shoe size or tamang learning level for them. Mabigay sa kanila ng maayos. And then, as for the teaching and activities sa Learning for All, simple framework of daily activities that can be adapted as children progress. Activities in big groups and small groups. Ayan. So, hindi lang siya yung chalk and talk, textbook driven. Kung ano yung nasa textbook, yun yung ituturo natin. No. Hindi po. You'll have a pool of activities that is very well thought of, very well researched, no? Para alam kung ano yung best na makaka-address, makakatulong sa inyo ma-achieve yung learning goals ng mga estudyante. So there are also activities in big groups, small groups. It's not just about students listening to you teach. Okay? So, malalaman nyo pa po yan lalo sa ating training. And then, there's also the assessment, measurement, and data. For Learning for All and teaching at the right level, it's just really a simple, quick one-on-one use at start for grouping, and then there's also the midline and end line. So assessment is not used to evaluate technically the students, no? But assessment is used for us to know what the students need, what they need to learn more, diba? And it tells us how we can group them. But for Schooling for All, it's pen, paper, grade level test done at the beginning and end of a phase to see how much they learned. Gets? So do you see the difference? So this is Schooling for All, see how much they learned. And Learning for All, to see what they need. To see what they need so that you know what you can teach, what you should teach them. Okay? So, dito sa Learning for All, data discussion and review at all levels. So, your school will talk about, ang dami na nag-move from letter to word level. Great. Diba? Ano ba yung pwede natin gawin? Day 20 na. Ang dami, day 20 na. Merong ilang pa mga estudyante nasa letter level. Ano yung pwede natin gawin? Ano ba yung kailangan nila para makamove sila sa paragraph level by day 40. Diba? So yung mga ganun discussion, para instead of individual lang na kailangan nyo talagang busisiin, diba? Kasi, for example, ay 75 siya sa ganito, ganyan-ganyan. Diba? But what does it really mean? So, teaching at the right level, they just made it very simple. Okay, so again, I know it's kind of a very long discussion. Ang TARL po kasi ang teaching at the right level sa mga batches namin po before, mga 10 3-hour training sessions po siya. But now we're learning na kaya po siya ng mas shorter. So, yeah, thank you so much, Mama Maggie. We're very glad na you're getting value po from this. No, so, meron po nagtanong, how can our school avail the intensive training? You can just sign up po later sa post-evaluation form and tell us that you are interested. Give us a note that you hope your school would get this training. So, alam po namin no, ng Security Bank Foundation kung ilan po kayo. And we'll give you announcements po kung meron po tayong training. Okay? So, ayan, I would like to get a quick check in the room how you're feeling po right now. If you could give one word to describe how you're feeling or an emoji to describe how you're feeling po. Okay, great. Okay, thank you po. Okay, sige. Go ahead. Merong na heart. Excited to learn, excited, awesome. All right. Okay, so far, so good. Ayan, ayan, okay, great. Then, papunta na po tayo sa exciting part. Tarl in the school community. Ito na po. Yan. Tarl in the school community. Ang pag-uusapan po natin, how this intervention works. So, if this intervention works, no, how can we apply it? Okay? So, dumako po muna tayo sa how this intervention works. Okay. I would like to show this data po from our class. So, currently po kasi, ang TARL class ay namin sa AHA is online. Kasi, wala pa po yung physical centers at the time. Okay? So, I would like to show you the movement po and the improvement of our students. So, we have 9 students at the beginning of our TARL class. At yun po, 4 po sa kanila letter level, 5 ay nasa word level. So sila po yung mga yung letter, iilang mga letters lang po yung nababasa o kaya kailangan nila how do you call this? Kailangan nilang mag-sound, alam mo yun, yung sound ng letters. Okay? Sa words, talagang nag-struggle pa po sila magbasa ng ilang words. But if you look at the midline, so this is day 30 of our class. Yung 8 po sa kanila, nasa paragraph level na. At yung isa nasa story. At online po to, by the way. Online, so medyo limited pa po yung teaching. Diba? Limited din po yung concrete materials and all that. But children were able to improve their reading. 8 out of the 9 kids nasa paragraph na, 1 moved to the story level. So imagine if this is day 60, probably all of them are already in the story level. Di po ba? So I hope po no na you'll get to experience this. So it's not just in AHA, there's also in different schools in Makati, different schools in Pasig, there's also Pasay po, at marami pa pong iba. Meron din po tayong mga partners no, sa mga last mile schools na ginawa na po to. At nakita na po yung mga improvement. We just don't have the available data po right now. Hindi po namin nailagay sa presentation na to. But a lot of the students improved po already. And we have testimonials from our teachers and students. So teachers po natin from Santolan Elementary School. Hapan pa po yung klase namin, pero umaga pa lang nagtatanong na sila, teacher, saan po yung link sa klase natin? So this just tells us how excited the students are for their TARL classes. Diba? Minsan nga daw po, Sunday pa lang Sunday, walang pasok, nanghihingi na yung estudyante ng link. That's how eager they are in learning. There's also si Ma'am Felicia from Comembo Elementary School, SDO Makati. Implementing teaching at the right level minimizes the need to incorporate different level of activities to suit the needs of a certain grade level. Hence, as the learners are already in their appropriate levels, regardless of their grade, the teachers only need to enhance their skills and proficiency and help them reach mastery. From the following sessions, TARL has made teaching learning process easier and enjoyable. Not just for the students, also for the teachers. They find teaching their TARL classes enjoyable. Diba? Gusto niyo po yan, diba? Na parang, yung mga teachers po na nakakausap namin, sabi nila na parang, ano pa lang, kahit nakakapagod, ang dami naming ginagawa after school, 'di ba magtuturo pa. Pero after that, it's fulfilling. Kasi nakikita namin yung progress ng bata every day, week after week. No? Mas nag-i-improve sila sa pagbabasa. So imagine that, 'di ba? And then there's also Ma'am Jenny Ann Santos. In our Tulong Eskwela TAR classes, our teachers are vibrantly doing their tasks and our students are equally enjoying. Ma'am Jenny Ann Santos, school head, La Huerta Elementary School. So even the school heads find this great. One of the school heads, Ma'am Emmy Kahikal from Comemba Elementary School, she said that she wanted after our training, she wanted all the teachers of her school to be trained ng teaching at the right level. So we have like 15 teachers or 10 to 15 teachers attend our training. Then after that, these teachers re-echoed our training to their school. 1 week po ng kanilang inset. Yun lang po yung pinag-usapan nila. Because they want to at least get the principles of teaching at the right level. Di man yung mismong activities, kasi hindi naman lahat ng mga bata kailangan pa ma-strengthen yung foundational skills. But at least yung principle ng teaching at the right level, no? Making sure that yung assessment, no, making sure that we know what the students need and what they need to learn. Yun po ang gusto nilang ma-integrate, no, sa kanilang schools. So kayo naman, where can TARL be applied? Apektado ang lahat ng subjects, no, nila ngayon kasi hindi pa establish ang kanilang foundational skills. Again, a lot of the teachers that I have talked to, sabi po nila, 2 years level behind. Reading, math, lahat. So, and we need a lot of interventions, no? I heard that we have na isang month na lang daw po ang summer. Dahil kailangan ng mga bata mag-remediate. So that means extra hours, no, after school, extra hours for the teachers. So there's a lot of interventions already. And based on what you've heard, I would also like to ask, marami na kaming interventions sa school, pero bakit TARL? So gusto ko po, tingnan po natin yung differences po. Ano po ba yung similarities and differences nitong teaching at the right level at nung ibang learning intervention sa aming paaralan? So you could go to the tablet po. It's right here. Pwede po kayong pumunta dyan para i-share yung mga thoughts and ideas nyo about the similarities and differences, yung pagkakapareho. Ano po ba yung similarities ng intervention sa inyong school, existing intervention sa inyong school sa teaching at the right level, at ano po yung naiiba? So if you could answer po sa ating Padlet, ayan, thank you Teacher Se for sharing. Punta po kayo sa Padlet at i-share nyo po, no, kung ano po ba yung thoughts and ideas about TARL. Ayan. Okay? So I hope po na ina-access niyo na po ang ating Padlet. You can also raise your hand if you want to share a bit about the interventions that you're working on, and ano po, siguro po focus tayo, ano yung pagkakaiba ng TARL at ng ibang learning interventions, if you could answer that. So tingin niyo po, paano po siya naiiba based on our discussion this morning? Paano po siya naiiba sa sa interventions na meron kayo sa inyong school? Good morning po sa mga kakapasok lang. Ayan po. We're currently talking about teaching at the right level as a accelerated education program. Okay, ayan, quality instructions, pareho. no, along with other interventions. Okay. Thank you po. Carl uses, ayan, B10. Mas focus on the students, pagkakaiba ng TARL at ng ibang learning interventions. Okay. I wonder po dito, saan po kaya nagpo-focus yung ibang learning interventions? Yung sa learning interventions in school, teaching reading as one-size-fits-all approach. Okay. So kung behind ka na sa reading, one-size-fits-all pa rin yung approach. Okay po. Salamat po. It will train us teachers to teach in reading, and they will give the students the same intervention. So may training then. They both assist the students in their learning problems. I think this one should go here sa pagkakaiba ng TARL at ibang learning interventions. Yung TARL focuses on the assessment during learning intervention. Hitting the real targets. Grouping of learners. Yung parang something special about TARL, no? May grouping ng learners. Focus on learners' level, sabi dito. Localize and contextualize. We haven't really focused on this, but this is correct. Localize and contextualize din po siya. Makikita niyo po sa mga materials din. Teaching reading, the assessment and monitoring process, yes. TARL uses the right level to teach students and adjust the lesson depending on the student's capability. Right. Focus on the learner's needs. So nagpo-focus pa rin naman yun sa learner's needs dun sa mga magkakapareho. Yung pareho din po yung assessment and intervention. Sige po. Okay. Learner issues and concern-centered. Pagkakaiba lang po, TARL strongly focuses on the level of the students. The focus strategy is the best learning implementation. Swakto, sabi ni Ma'am Contessa. For every kind of learner, hindi masasayang yung effort because you can be so much sure of the results. Right, because of the 60-day promise, no? Kind of like a 60-day promise na at the end of 60 days, marunong na magbasa with understanding or comprehension ng inyong mga estudyante. Both address the needs of pupils according to their reading level. Yes, TARL is very effective in teaching reading. And this is effective, no? Dahil talagang, yun nga, swakto. Sakto siya dun sa kailangan ng mga bata. Diba? Kasi, diba, pag hindi mo kailangan, minsan hindi efficient, diba? Ayan. Sa school, may reading ladder po kami. Pero I think mas okay itong TARL approach if ever po we get a chance. It's such a learning opportunity because it focuses on the learner's level. Ayan. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing that. Sabi ni dito, we get the intervention after the result of their grades per quarter. But actually po, for TARL, you can already get a very quick assessment of the children at the beginning of the school year pa lang po. Para alam nyo po kung sino po yung pwede maging parte ng TARL or ng TARL program. Para kasabay po nun yung regular classes, for example. Na ano ba yung na ma-address na agad yung mga foundational skills nila at the beginning. So whenever po na fit po sa inyong curriculum or fit sa inyong school year, pwede nyo po ilagay yung TARL. Focuses on basic skills and move to another level of learning. They are reassessed as well. Okay, so medyo may similarities po that way. TARL addresses the needs of the learners. Lesson is adjusted for the learners and other interventions focus on the competencies to be met. This is true. I would like to emphasize lang din po. Sa TARL, we don't make the lesson plan until we have assessed the learners. We don't make the lesson plans until we have assessed the learners. And the assessment takes po, we do the assessment of the learners at least siguro po a week, at most po pala, a week before or days before. So very close to the class. Kasi otherwise, baka nag-improve na po yung mga bata. So hindi na po yun sa learning level nila. Okay? So, ganun po, ka-crucial din po yung time ng pag-assess. Kasi we have to make sure na talaga yung bata nandun sa actual learning level. Ayun po. And yung lesson po, wala po siyang set lesson na lesson 1, ito yung mga letters na ituturo. Day 2, ito na yung mga letters na ituturo. Day 3, ito na. Hindi po siya ganon. It's really up to the teachers on how they see what the learners need. Ano po yung kailangan ng mga learners? Yun po yung tuturo nyo po that day. Yeah, you can have a plan na, okay, this week, these are the things we need to learn. But if you feel like the students haven't really need, for example, if you feel that the students need more work on this particular letter, then you can stay on that for a while and then see kung ano pa yung mga activities na kailangan nila. Okay? So, ganun po siya. So, hindi po rin kailangan mag-submit ng mga lesson plans for the teachers and all that. It's really the teacher po, no, na you are trained. You are trained to teach the students. So, dapat alam nyo rin po, we trust that you know who your students are, what they need, and how to teach them. Okay? Ayan. So, let's see. So, thank you so much po for participating sa ating discussion na to. Mas nakita natin kung ano yung kaibahan nila, ano rin yung pagkakapareho. So, ngayon naman po, I would like to ask you, paano makakatulong sa inyo ang TARL bilang guro? I hope you can go to menti.com and type this code down. Ayan. And share paano mo maa-apply naman ko itong TARL sa inyo bilang guro. We had this one session, very, very quick po to. Ano ba? Parang TARL session 0, no? Knowing all these things that we talked about TARL, paano po sa tingin nyo makakatulong to bilang guro? Ano po yung gagawin nyo after this? After this session, ano po yung gagawin nyo bilang teacher? Sa Monday, ano na po yung una nyong gagawin? So, we would like to ask, paano po makakatulong sa inyo itong TARL bilang guro? So, hope that you could go to menti.com and then type in the code. Pwede rin po mag-raise ng hand at sumagot. Si Ma'am Teacher Lucena. Teacher Lucena, are you there? Hello po. Teacher Melissa, if you raise your hand, pwede po kayong sagutin to. Sige. Binabani na yung hands. Para po sa iba, pwede po kayo mag-raise hand and we will allow you to talk. Okay? So here, assess my students. Assess the students first. That's a really good idea so that you know what their learning level is. Tama po. Doesn't have to be how much they learn. Para lang i-gradean sila, assess them. Yes, to address my pupils' needs. Isa pa lang po ang nag-share dito. Sana po more so that we can keep track no ano yung mga gusto nyong gawin, yung mga next steps nyo. It would help us help our learners to go to the next level and improve their foundational learning. Yan. Assess the pupils first. A lot of you are going to assess their pupils first. Yan. Napaka-gandang first step. Thank you po. I'm very much interested to learn the reading tools that TARL can offer to improve the reading skills of our learners. Ayan. Abangan nyo po yan. Pag nagkaroon po tayo ng training, we will give you these materials. Address the learning gaps. Yon. It will help me focus on helping the students meet their level standards and to achieve the motto, no students will be left behind. Yes, please revisit the pupils' progress. It will help us teachers to learn more too by your trainings, and we can give more to our students because of that, the materials and also the learning. So helping also other teachers. Yes, that's great. Surely it will lessen the number of our non-readers. Dun po sa isang school partner namin, ang goal nila, 0 non-readers. Ayan, 0 non-readers talaga. Kaya talagang pinush talaga nila yung TARL sa kanilang schools. I will now extend my patience and assist my students. It will help us develop the reading skills of struggling learners. After this session, I'm sure I can produce quality learners. All my learners become a reader. Assess my learners and group them. Help the learners be more confident in reading. Yes, this is very important po. When you group the learners according to their level, and if you teach them according to their learning level, they will be more confident. No, mababawasan yung mga frustration this. Dahil makikita namin ang learning progress ng mga bata na mas posible dahil sa TARL. TARL helps us assess the reading level or learning literacy of my pupils. Give the proper intervention. Since we are dealing with diversified learners, there is really a need to assess them first. Yes, tama po. Every learner will be a reader and nobody will be left behind. Evaluate students' reading and numeracy skills and school practices in terms of intervention use. Ayan. Monitor the learner's progress in reading skills. Prepare myself to invest more patience and enthusiasm and flexibility. Ayan. Thank you so much, teachers. Ayan. Ayan, may nag-share din that first call the attention of the parents so that they are also aware of the status and why there is a need for assessment. Actually po, here we would like to explain to the parents sa TARL po kasi feeling nila graded yung mga assessment. When in fact, it's really, we have to help the parents understand that the assessment is for us to know what they need. And if we know what they need, we know we can help the students more. We can help the students learn more. So dapat na-explain din po talaga yun sa mga parents. Kaya tama po yan. Inform the parents. Teach them about the program or teach them why you're doing it. Why do you need to assess? Diba? Yan, it can help me identify my students' learning ability and help me improve my teaching style in addressing their students' needs. There's also the giving orientation of the parents. No, actually po, pwede po yan. Pwede po kayo magbigay ng orientation. So let's say that you haven't really done or you haven't really gone through a TARL and you want to apply the principles of TARL in your classes, you can give an orientation to the parents explaining na yung grades, it's really all about knowing what your children need. So even if with your grading system now, you can explain na hindi lang po siya pang it's really not just kung pass or fail yung bata, pero more of ano ba yung kailangan niyang matutunan pa. 75% siya, ano pa yung kailangan niyang matutunan? Diba? You couple it with that. Ano pa kailangan matutunan ng mga bata? Ano yung pwede natin gawin para matuto sila? So, ayun po. Ayan. Ang gaganda po ng mga shinare nyo. Thank you so much, teachers. Can we all, I hope you can give each other a virtual clap. So, these are very interesting ways for you to apply TARL. Okay? So, alam ko na, ngayon pa lang, sa first and second part of our training session, meron na kayong baon. So, yes, palakpakan po para sa inyo. At sulit po ang ating first and second part po. Ngayon, dadako na po tayo sa susunod na bahagi ng ating session. So let me just, okay, ayan, adjust my screen. Let's go to the last part. Ito na yung exciting, ito na yung mas exciting na part. TARL literacy approach and a ready set read demo. So here, we'll talk about how can we do the TARL literacy approach. And mas magkakaroon na kayo na idea kung paano tutulong yung TARL. So okay po yun. Maganda po yung ideas niyo about assessing students and grouping them according to their level. Now, we're gonna focus on how can we teach them now that they are grouped according to their level. So this is really just an overview po kasi tong training na to, it took us, for literacy lang po for literacy, it's 16 hours. 16 hours po siya kasi online. But it could be less if it's face-to-face. Mahirap po kasi po talaga pag online. But yun po, 16 hours for what do you call this? For literacy. and another 16 hours for numeracy. But for now, we'll give you an overview of how we can teach, how we teach literacy in TARL. And then we'll show you a sample lesson ng TARL. So, ready na, ready na. Titignan ko kung may nakakatanda ko ano sinasabi pagkatapos ng ready na, ready na. Ready na, ready na? Ayun, thank you po, Ma'am Mirna. Aha, aha. Thank you po. Okay, mukhang ready na tayo, teachers. So, let's go. So, dito sa TARL literacy approach, we'll talk about yung reading approach, the key elements of TARL literacy, yung literacy assessment. Ayan, makikita nyo na kung paano ginagawa ang quick one-on-one assessment sa TARL at yung literacy activities. Just an overview ko ano po yung mga klaseng literacy activities na meron. And then later sa TARL sample lesson, yung mga ilan sa mga activities na ginagawa natin. Okay? So let's go! TARL reading approach dahil ready na ang ating mga teachers. Okay, so TARL reading approach, dito it's non-linear. So ano ibig sabihin yan, Teach Jo? Non-linear. Ibig sabihin, the student doesn't have, parang, halimbawa, hindi nila kailangan matuto muna magbasa bago sila matuto mag-write, magsulat. Okay, so sabay yun. So kasabay na rin yung, so even for beginner level or letter level students, we try to teach them, we give them activities now on reading and maybe some writing, no? Para po mag-practice na nila yung skill as early as at that level. So this is why mas mabilis po sila mag-progress kasi napapractice na po nila. It doesn't have to be intensive, no? So teaching at the right level, it's really all about modeling. For teachers to model what the proper reading behavior is, what the proper writing behavior is. So ganun po siya. At dun po natututo yung mga bata. So kahit beginner or letter level pa lang sila, may nagbabasa na ng text. So teacher will try to read the text or kahit sentence po. The sentence, and then who will read like teacher? Who will read like I do? And then the student will try to imitate how this teacher reads. No? So, ganun po siya. Kaya siya non-linear. So, they get acquainted with knowing the shapes and sounds of the letters. So, yes, meron pong learning levels, diba? Pero, again, at the same time, they learn to read simple text which can be easily understood. So, may reading, decoding, and at the same time, meron na rin pong comprehension. So, actually po, mas maintindihan niyo po yan kapag in-explain namin yung per activity or yung per learning level later on. And then, learning to read in mother tongue. So, dito po sa TARL, highly recommended to start sa mother tongue for non-readers. For non-readers. Why? Because this helps them decode the words while learning the sounds of the letters. They are familiar with the sounds. Simple texts do not need further explanations because they already understand it. They hear it every day. They're used to it. And activities help them develop essential reading skills. Pag nakuha na po nila yon, yung mga skills na yon from learning through the mother tongue language, then we could help them learn to read in English. So they're familiar with local language. They already have the coding, decoding skills, and it also gets further strengthened. Ngayon, practice na po reading simple text sa English para po mas masanay po yung comprehension din nila. Ay, hello po. Maingay pa rin po ba? Hello, hello. Baka po nagagalaw ka. Hello po. Thumbs up po kapag okay po yung aking audio. Okay. Sorry po. Baka po yung gumagalaw po kasi siya. Okay pa, okay pa. Thank you, thank you. Sige po. Ayan. Continuous practice of reading simple text helps students in creating simple words and sentences while having conversations with the facilitators and their peers. So, siguro po eventually after a few days sa tingin nyo, ay, galing na ng mga bata magbasa sa mother tongue. Then you can have TAR classes or you can teach them reading in English. no? So that they will get used to it. So mamaya po, papakita ko rin po sa inyo yung mga components ng TAR literacy class. So, ito po siya, yung itsura ng regular TAR reading approach. Kung ano po yung time, expected time. Ay, nakaganto pala siya. Sorry po. Ayan. So, ano yung expected time? So, days 1 to 20, sinasagawa na po yung baseline assessment. And then, yung learning goal po is for the students to acquire fluency in the local language. And then, days 21 to 40, yun na yung midline assessment. More than 90% of the children are at beginner and letter levels already. Beginner and letter levels, tama po ba to? Baka ano na po to, medyo word level. And then days 41 to 60, most children are in the simple paragraph or story level. Okay? So, dito po sa days 1 to 40, introduction na rin po ng mga basic activities na meron po sa ating TAR literacy approach. Pero basically, days 21 to 40, nasa word level na po dapat yung mga bata. Days 41 to 60, simple paragraph or story level. So, paano natin yung magagawa? Kailangan po natin i-make sure na ito yung nagsusupport sa inyong TAR literacy class. Informal talk. Informal talk helps them develop listening and comprehension skills. Napapractice po nila yung language. It helps them develop speaking skills with confidence. That's why sa TAR class, ang class rules sa literacy class po ay speak with a full in full sentences. At wala po yung quiet. Listen lang. Bakit walang quiet? Quiet when the teacher is talking. Kasi gusto natin ma-practice ng mga bata na magamit nila yung language nila. Masanay sila, maging familiar sila sa structure ng language. Diba? When they're speaking in sentences. So when they read, it's familiar. Ganito ako magsalita. Diba? And then, familiarity with text and picture reading. This imparts reading experience to non-readers. So, we have picture reading or yung familiarity with text, we expose them na sa paragraph reading, even at beginner level. So that hindi po sila matatakot sa reading. Hindi po sila mabibigla sa reading. Because this is used every day. They see the teacher do this every day. They see their peers read every day. Hindi po sila matatakot. Ano po siya? It helps them build confidence to read a simple text. Na kaya ko pala magbasa. Pwede pa pala ako matuto. Diba? When it's picture reading, mamaya po makikita nyo, yun po yung sample activity natin. No? Paano po ito makakatulong sa pagbabasa ng mga bata? It also builds observation and vocabulary skills. And there's also the vocabulary and sentence construction. Engage in meaning-making activities. Build vocabulary through sentence construction activities. There's also phonological awareness and decoding. Distinguish between different letters, shapes, phonology, blend syllables, decode, and encode words. So, importante rin to para sa decoding. And then there's also writing. Improve skills through formal and informal writing activities, copying, dictation, and independent writing. So, importante po ang writing sa pag-aaral ng reading. Hindi po siya pwedeng mawala. So, I would also like to point out that these are the TAR learning goals. To listen, observe, speak, do, read, and write. Dapat magawa po ito ng mga bata during class. May chance po sila to listen how the teacher talks, observe how the teacher reads, speak the language, do an activity, no? That helps them build their language skills, and then there's also read and write. So dapat po magawa po yan during class. So here are the key elements of TAR literacy. Again, there's the simple one-on-one assessment, the activities and materials, learning in groups and individually, progress monitoring, activities, and grouping. So ganun po siya. So yung monitoring, mentoring, hindi lang po siya from us to the teachers, there's also from you to the students, from the teachers to the students. Okay? So, tingnan po natin at i-zoom in po natin yung literacy assessment. So we would like to highlight that there are 5 learning levels in literacy. The beginner level, tapos yung letter level, yung word level, paragraph level, and yung story level. So literally po, beginner, hindi pa po sila marunong masyado with letters. Konti pa lang yung mga letters or none at all. Sa letter level, konti lang yung, they can identify letter names and sounds sa word. Simple words, but they need practice on fluency. Sa paragraph level, can fluently read words, but needs fluency practice in reading short paragraphs. And then sa story level, can read paragraphs and short stories, but needing practice for comprehension. So yan po yung description ng mga learning levels in literacy. So how do we know? We, of course, have our assessment, but we need to consider these things first. It needs to be oral, whether face-to-face, online, or phone call. You need to observe mismo po how the students use the language, how the students read, meron po ba siyang kaba, diba? And there's also the need for it to be one-on-one. One-on-one, bakit? Para mas alam mo kung ano yung kailangan ng bata. Okay? Kailangan mo talaga i-observe ng mabuti. And thirdly, it should be quick. Quick kasi ang dami yung estudyante. Let's say 32 students out of 40. You have to be quick in assessing all of them. And of course, for it to be quick, it needs to be simple, no? For ease of administering it to the learners. And lastly, it needs to be periodic. So assessments are conducted periodically to observe learner progress over time. Periodic, hindi siya para alam mo kung ano ng learning level ng mga bata. Aside from the baseline, midline, and endline that helps you assess your program as a whole. Assess also how your class is doing as a whole. The assessment needs to be periodic para every now and then, alam mo na ay kailangan ng mga bata mag-move up na. Ganun po. So here is a sample TAR literacy assessment tool. As you can see, there are 4 parts to it. May maikling kwento, maikling talata, mga salita at mga letra. So ito po ay nasa mother tongue. Kaya Filipino po siya. Ayan. At we'll teach you how to make your own literacy assessment tool sa ating training. But at least makikita nyo ito, kung gaano kasimple. No? Sa assessment po, pagko-conduct na po yung assessment, magsisimula po sa talata, sa pagpapabasa ng talata. Kung nakapasa po siya sa standards po, pwede po siya mag-move sa maikling kwento at papabasa po sa bata yon. Okay? At kung nabasa ng bata at nasagot yung mga questions, then alam natin na siya ay nasa story level. Okay? Story level na siya. Very quick lang, di ba? Kapag hindi nakapasa yung bata, for example, let's say dito, alam natin na siya ay nasa paragraph level. Kasi nabasa niya to, pero hindi niya to nabasa. So yung pinakamataas na level na napasa niya, yun yung learning level niya. So nasa paragraph level yung bata. Okay? So, kung hindi naman nabasa yung paragraph sa Word, papabasa yung words. Kung nakapasa sa standards ng words, then words na siya. Okay? Kung hindi words, hindi nabasa yung words, letters. At kung nabasa yung letters, letter level siya. Kung hindi niya nabasa yung letters, edi beginner level na siya. So, dito, very efficient. Hindi mo kailangan pagawa lahat. Magsisimula ka sa paragraph level. Every time. Paragraph level. Kung makapasa, move forward. Kung hindi makapasa, move backward. Tapos yun na yun yung learning level niya. And so on and so forth. We'll teach you how to do it sa training natin. Wag po kayo mag-alala. Pero basically, mga 5 to 10 minutes, tapos na po. Tapos na po yung assessment. Ganun po siya kabilis. It doesn't have to take long. Sometimes, mabilis lang po. Kasi baka mamaya hindi po kaya ng bata magbasa nito. So, move natin sila agad sa word and so on and so forth. Okay? So, pag nalaman na natin kung ano yung kung ano yung learning level nila, gugrupo na natin sila. At yung learning groupings po, depende po siya sa number of learners nyo, number of teachers, at number of teachers nyo. So, meron po tayong tinatawag na homogeneous grouping. So, ibig sabihin po nun, one teacher for each learning level. So, if you have 4 teachers, you can group the simple paragraph and story together. Tapos 1 teacher for beginner, 1 teacher for letter, and 1 teacher for word. Okay? But what if you only have a few teachers? Meron tayong tinatawag na heterogeneous grouping. So, may mixed level class. So, dito yung beginner, letter, word, and simple paragraph, magkakasama sila. But the teacher will give them different instructions, different activities for each group. So, I think this is only applicable po sa face-to-face. Mas madali po siya sa face-to-face because if you imagine your classroom, your students are grouped according to their learning level. They're sitting together, they're in a circle, they're in separate circles, and then you give them different activities for each. So, ganun po yung sa heterogeneous grouping. Okay? So far, so good po ba? Press 1 kung kaya pa po. Kung may tanong, magsabi po sa ating chat box. Okay. Alright. Okay, sige po. Konti na lang. I would like to show you our literacy activities. Ito po yung ilang sample. Meron tayong mga whole class activities, mga beginner and letter activities. Ayan. So, basahin nyo lang po. Ayan. Just read it. And then, makikita nyo po na meron po iba-ibang activities for each learning level. Okay? Para po ma-build yung mga reading skills na kailangan nila. And the teacher will decide what are my learning goals what are the learning goals for my students? And then you will decide which activities to do. Okay? Sa lesson nyo for that day. So, ganun po siya. Okay, nakikita ko po na meron ng ilang mga questions. What if English is considered as the mother tongue of the students? Then go ahead. Most of our students come from families who speak English at home. Our oral materials always in Filipino. When you take the training with us, currently the oral materials by AHA Learning Center is in Filipino. But we can currently po we're trying to gather rin po oral materials in English. So you can also help us with that. And then here, hoping to have your presentation as basis. Oh, I think that's answered. Or ano? Okay, that's answered. Thank you so much, Teacher Seth. Okay, so sige. I will get more questions later. Yes, okay. So, ayan, ito na po. Nasa oral sample lesson na po tayo. Ayan, let's go. So, again, for this part, I will be putting on my teacher hat and you are all my students. So, kung gusto niyo po mag-participate, raise your hand and you will be given permission to speak. Okay, lahat po na nagre-raise ng hand, meron po kayong option to unmute. Okay, and then I will call your name, then please speak. Okay po ba? Okay po? I prefer that you raise your hand kaysa po mag-chat. Baka hindi ko po kasi mabasa. But you can also participate through the chat box. Okay po? Thumbs up pag ready na. Thumbs up. Thumbs up naman po dyan. Okay, sige. Okay, so putting my teacher hat on. Again, this, just to give an overview lang po pala before I start. This is a reading class in English. So assuming that my learners already know how to decode in the mother tongue, Ganun po siya. And then I will teach in English. So this is at the word level. So students, kasi possible po when you shift to English, word level pa po yung mga bata. Kasi hindi pa po sila ganun ka-fluent magbasa ng mga sentences in English. So you can, some of them might go to word level muna, pero marunong na sila mag-decode. Kailangan lang sanayin po sa pagde-decode sa English. Okay po? Okay. So this is the overview. And then we'll start. Okay, so put your hat on. All right. So good morning, students. Welcome to our class for today. And for our first activity, I would like you to look at the picture on your screens. Can you look at the pictures on your screens? Do you see the pictures on your screen? Okay. I assume that you said yes. So I would like you to point out some words or some words that you see on the picture. So for example, I see kite. I see kite. Do you see the kite? Yes. Okay. Okay, then just keep giving words, okay? For those who are raising their hands, like Merlu, Alma, June, and Maria, Contessa, can you give me words that you see on the picture? In the picture? Sorry. And there's also Julie. Sige. I will pick some from here in the chat box. Hello, Liselle said kids. Jonalyn said duck. So I'll write here kids. There are kids. There are kids. Okay. And there's a duck. There's a duck. Yes, there's a duck. And what else? There's a fish. That's right. You have a lot of ideas. I love it. There's a fountain. There's a dog. This is fountain. There's a dog. What else do we have? There are, wait, I will remove my ano muna. Here. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. There's the an umbrella. Yes, there's an umbrella. I'm gonna write that down here. And maybe two more. Two more. We have an elephant. Oh yeah, we actually have an elephant right there. There's an elephant. I'm gonna write the word elephant right here. And fish. Oh yeah, I already have fish. One more. Flowers. We have a lot of flowers. That's right. So, I will read the words that you have seen in the picture. We have seen in the picture. So let me just stop sharing my screen so that you can see my board more. There you go. So we have the word, we saw kids, right? There are kids. There's a duck. There's a fish, a fountain, a dog, an umbrella, elephant, and flowers. That's right. Can you give yourselves a big, big round of applause for listing down a lot of words with me from that picture? Good job. Now, I need your help. I need your help giving me a sentence for the words that we wrote down. Can you help me give a sentence about the picture using the words that we wrote down? So first, for kids, can you give me a sentence for kids? There, we have here the kids are playing. I'm gonna write that down. The kids are playing. All right. The kids are playing. Okay.
next, and we have a lot. The kids are having fun. The kids are happy. Now, let's choose another word. Let me see. Let's choose this word. How about the word dog? Can we give a sentence for the word dog about the picture in the picture? Can you give a sentence about the picture using the word dog? Anybody? You can unmute yourselves. The dog is watching the fish. The dog is watching the fish. The fish. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, so maybe one last sentence using the words that we listed down. Again, we have kids, we're already done with this. We're done with dog. One more, duck, fish, fountain, umbrella, elephant, and flowers. Okay, maybe we can talk about the flowers. Flowers. Can you make a sentence using this word, using the word flowers? Okay, I saw here. Okay, the flowers are lovely. The flowers are lovely. Okay, so let's read our sentences. So we wrote down words, and now we wrote down sentences, right? Now let's read the sentences that we wrote down. It says here, the kids are playing. The dog is watching the fish. The flowers are lovely. Good job. Can you give yourselves a good job? Okay. Now, I will show you more pictures. Now that we wrote down our sentences, we wrote down some words about the sentences about our picture. You're doing a good job in reading and writing. Okay, now I need you to tell me what is this object? What is this thing? What is this? Again, you may unmute and tell me. Okay, so I see that a lot of you are saying this word is yarn. Yarn. How do we write yarn? There's a y, yarn, Y, and then an A, R, and N. Can we read this word again? Me first. This word is yarn. Yarn. Can you read this with me? Yarn. Okay? Yarn. Can you read it? Yarn. Okay. And then next, what is this word? This word is, let's try it, yo-yo. So I'm going to write it down. Yo-yo is this word. We write yo-yo with Y, O, Y, O. Yo-yo. Okay, so can you read this again? Yo-yo. So we have yarn, yo-yo. And then what is this word? I wonder if anybody can tell me what this word is. Yes, that's right. It's the word yogurt. So I'm going to spell yogurt this way. Y-O-G-U-R-T. Sometimes it has an H after G. But for today, we're going to write it down this way. Okay? Yogurt. Can you say, can you read this word? Yogurt. Parang ako si Dora. And okay, last one, last word. We have yarn, Yo-yo and yogurt. Now we go to our last word. What is this word? What is the place? The place is, that's right. A lot of you are saying yard. We're not sure if it's the backyard or the front yard, so we'll just say that it's the yard. Yard. Okay, good job, everybody. So this word is yard. Can you say it with me? Can you read it with me? What's this word again? Yard. Okay, now I need you to look at the words that we wrote down. It's yarn, yo-yo, yogurt, and yard. What do you notice about these words? What do you notice? These, Anna said, why words? So these are words that begins with Y. They have the same beginning letters. Maybe I shouldn't put that here. Maybe I shouldn't put that. They have the same beginning letters. See that? Y, right? They begin with Y, and Y has a Y sound. Okay, that's right. And these words also help us name the objects. Name objects, right? Their name of objects and name of a place, right? So we also call these words naming words because they help us name some objects and places, right? And we can also name people, right? Like people like Yana and Yoli because they begin with the letter Y, right? Now I need you to think of more words that begin with the letter Y. Can you help me think of more words that begin with the letter Y? Can you help me think of more words that begin with the letter Y? So we have here, I'm gonna write Y here at the middle, and then I'm gonna write down the words that you say. There's yat. Hold on. Yat. Is this how you spell yat? Or is that how you spell yat? Yes, okay. There's also youth. There's also you. And then there's also yes. There's yam. There's the word yellow. I'm gonna write the word yellow down here. Yellow. There's yummy. Yummy. There's also yell, year, yell, year. I also saw yes. And then there's more and more letters that begin with Y. I also saw this word, the name of a place, Yemen. It's the name of a place. Yes, it's double. Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry. We can also write yard. Yes, yard begins with Y. Okay, so what are words that begin with Y? We have yes, yat, youth, Yemen, you, yard, year, yell, yummy, yellow, and yam. Okay, now I need you to read the words, just like Teacher Awi did. Okay, can you read it? Good job. Now I think it's time for us to read a paragraph and practice, okay? But of course, before we read these, we have to remember these things. First of all, look at the text using your eyes. Of course, look at the text. Listen well and point to each word. Okay, again, look at the text, listen well, and point to each word. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, again, we have this paragraph is about two friends named Yana and Yoli. So can you all see this? Can everybody see this? Press 1 if you can see this clearly. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, again, I need you to look very well, listen well, and point at each word. So watch Teacher Awi first. Okay, Teacher Joe. Watch Teacher Joe first. Okay. Yana and Yoli were in the yard. They played with a yellow yo-yo. They ate yummy yogurt too. Yana and Yoli love to play. Okay. I'm gonna read it again. And I need you to listen well, okay? Yana and Yoli were in the yard. They played with a yellow yo-yo. They ate yummy yogurt too. Yana and Yoli love to play. Okay, who would like to read just like Teacher Joe did? So may I call on those who are raising their hands? Like June Dayon. Okay, he put his hand out. Go, teach. You can unmute yourself. Anyone who's raising their hand can unmute themselves. Teacher Evangeline. Teacher Richard. Anyone who would like
Hello?
to? Yes,
Hello.
go ahead, teach.
Yana and Yoli were in the yard. They played with a yellow yo-yo. They ate yummy yogurt too. Yana and Yoli love to play.
Okay, thank you so much, Richard, for reading the paragraph so well. I love that you read the words loud and clear. And I also
Thank you.
noticed that you paused every time you see this dot, or we call it a period. Good job. Okay, so kids, let's just say that we called more kids to read, and we gave them practice. Thank you so much for joining us in our class for today. I would like you to read this, watch this video about naming words, because Teacher Joe mentioned naming words a while ago, and how yarn, yo-yo, yard, and yogurt are naming words. And also Yana and Yoli. So to know more about naming words, you can watch this video when you're at home, or after school. I will play this after our class. I'll play this while you're waiting for your parents or fetchers, so that you'll learn more about naming words. All right. So thank you for joining me in our class today, and I hope that you have learned a lot about from our class for today. So thank you. Okay, so putting my teacher's hat off. Ayan. So those are just samples of activities that we do in teaching at the right level. So with that po, no, I would just like to note how we're able to encourage our students. We wrote down the words that they know, help them see that that it could be written down, with words. Yung mga sentences na sabi nila tungkol sa picture could be written down and we can read it all together. Diba? So even introducing grammar, yung for example po yung naming words, pwede rin po yun ma-integrate sa inyong TARL classes. And of course, with the help of learning resources like Ready, Set, Read, na talagang helpful po talaga. I'll show you briefly how it looks like. So with this, na parang supplemental material, na magagamit ng mga parents, even ng mga parents sa bahay.
Hello there, how are you? I'm going to recite a poem
Pwede siyang magamit at ma-strengthen pa yung lesson. Right?
No, not really.
So,
well, let me show you.
Ayan, ang Ready, Set, Read. So, it's really interesting how engaging din po ito, how it encourages interaction with the kids. So, this is a good supplemental material when you're teaching reading. So, importante rin po yung grammar dahil po specific grammar lessons ay hindi nakikita. I think you have to move po. So, ayan. So, yan. I'm just showing you a bit of it para mas meron po kayong idea. So, we can find this in YouTube po, in the Security Bank Foundation YouTube. I believe Teacher Celine will also share that in the chat box. And there's actually more activities po sa ating teaching at the right level. It's not just the picture reading activity. It's not just the mind map activity. Ito po yung merong may letter Y. Hindi lang din po yung paragraph or reading fluency activity. There's more. So we hope to see you in one of our TARL training sessions po, or in all of our TARL training sessions. So thank you so much for being here with us today. And of course, hindi po mawawala. Hindi ko po kayo mali-let go pa hanggat hindi nyo pa po binibigay ang inyong pabaon. So please give us your pabaon. We would like to know what you got from our training session this morning. Ano po ang pabaon nyo? Ano ang pabaon nyo? Ano yung nakuha nyo mula sa training session natin ngayong umaga? You can put it in our chat box. You can also unmute yourselves. Ang dami pong pwedeng mag-unmute. Please do so. Ayan. Ma'am, pag nag-training po ba kayo, mga English, Science, Filipino major pa rin po ba ang mga attendees? Pwede po kahit sinong teacher mag-attend itong TARL training. But this is mostly for literacy and numeracy po, to address the basic foundations. So we need more teachers. The more teachers po, the merrier. How much po ang bayad? Oh, we'll give this po for free. Pero we'll wait po sa ating for our teachers, this is for free po. So abangan na lang po yung announcements. Yes, go. Paano po mag-register? Again, dun po sa ating post-evaluation form. Pwede po mag-register doon. Yes. Thank you po. You're welcome. You're welcome, teachers. Thank you po sa mga pabaon nyo. Sayang po, hindi ko po na-send po pala, nakalimutan ko po sabihin na sa menti.com, please feel free to share ang inyong mga learning. We would also like to see how much you learn. Ayan, ano yung pabaon mo? Super helpful po ang TAR, lalo na sa primary teacher like me. Thank you po. Thank you rin po sa inyo. I learned a lot. This training gives me more insight in helping my students learn how to read. TARL helps us address struggling readers in our school. Very useful topic because we are now in limited face-to-face class. Yes po, I'm so excited for all of you to teach your students face-to-face. So, ayan, more power po sa ating mga teachers. Kayang-kaya po yan. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing these reading remediation ideas. It's a great help for our students. I have learned a lot this training, and thank you for sharing with us. And it to us, and it helps us a lot more and use the strategy in our class. I learned a lot strategies and skills how to reinforce our learners in reading. Very informative. Thank you so much po. Big help din po kayo kung wala kayo. Mas less po yung mga estudyante na matutulungan namin. Kaya kailangan po talaga namin yung tulong ninyo. You can bring this up to your school heads and tell them about teaching at the right level. Again, we will announce, Security Bank Foundation will announce po kung kailan po meron at as soon as we can po, as soon as it is available. So again, thank you so much sa inyong mga pabaon. I hope that you can go still to menti.com and share your pabaons with us para naman po ma-immortalize natin yung mga pabaon nyo tungkol sa ating teaching at the right level training. So ayan, maraming salamat po sa inyo. We really appreciate each and every one. And if again, you have questions, feel free po to ask sa ating question and answer Paul sa Zoom. Yun. Using TAR made us boost also our leadership and management. Thank you, ma'am. That means a lot po to us. No, it's not just about teaching, but also on a larger scale, how to help more teachers and students. Thank you so much po. Thank you so much po, and we really appreciate each and every teacher here. So again, feel free to share your pabaon sa ating Menti. Go ahead po para po makita po namin, mabasa pa po namin, and all the other teachers will be able to do so then. So again, maraming salamat po at okay. At ito-turn over ko na po ito kay Sir Carlo. Maraming salamat po and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you so much, Teacher Se. Before anything else, can we give Teacher Se and Teacher Joe, before anything else, can we give these teachers a virtual clap, please? Can we type a clap on the chat box? Ayan, thank you so much, ma'am. Nako, nakakatuwa talaga itong activity natin for today. Sige po. Now, before anything else, before we end, Sir Rick, can I ask you to help us by sharing our screen? And thank you so much. All right, and thank you, Teacher Joe, for that very meaningful activity. I think the queries and participations of our teachers show how novel, helpful, and exciting teaching at the right level is. Before I give everyone the post-evaluation form so that you can also register for TARL if you're interested, please allow me to borrow just 5 more minutes of your time and show you how teaching at the right level completes this year's Ready, Set, Read program. As you know, Ready, Set, Read, when it began in 2021, was just simply educational videos with learning modules and training programs. And then we realized that this provided a train, teach, and test model for our teachers. But on that same year, we realized through our FGD that these videos could only be further maximized if we taught teachers how to use Facebook Messenger better, or Facebook or text-based classroom, if we learned how to engage the parents better and taught them how to be learning facilitators, and if we equipped schools with a framework for their upcoming remediation. In fact, for those who've attended the grades 1 and 3 webinar, I congratulate you for you've already completed the Ready, Set, Read program for 2022. But for those who have yet to complete theirs, especially those at grade 5, we implore you and invite you to attend it this upcoming October. While these seminars have already passed, next slide, sir, please. Security Bank Foundation has luckily recorded these: our Facebook Messenger as a tool for learning, our webinar on parents as reading facilitators, our Ready, Set, Read webinar for grade 1 teachers, and Ready Set Read webinar for grade teachers. These can actually be viewed by checking the links which are provided on the screen. You may take a picture of these now. My dear fellow teachers, if you have not yet attended these webinars, I urge you to watch this and to take the post-evaluation form so that you can benefit the entire package. Lahat naman po ito ay para sa ating mga anak. At maraming salamat po. Now, as mentioned prior to the start of this webinar, you need to accomplish the post-training evaluation form to earn a certificate of attendance. You may kindly refer to the QR code projected on the screen or the link which can be found in the chat box. Please accomplish this within the day, and note that the evaluation combines the post-training participant assessment, where you need to get a passing score of at least 70%, and your personal evaluation of how the training was conducted. Next, we are also inviting our grade 5 teachers to our Ready Set Read webinar for grade 5, as I said, which will be held on October 1. Every webinar grants a certificate of attendance. Teachers who have attended this webinar on teaching at the right level, plus the 2 other special webinars for parents and for Facebook, plus our webinar for grades 1 and 3, will receive a certificate of completion. English teachers who will also implement the impact assessment, that is the pre-test and the post-test, to at least 40 of their grades 1, 3, and 5 students, can also earn an additional certificate of impact assessment, plus have a chance to get monetary incentives. This will be discussed, or this has already been discussed in our prior webinars, and we will still discuss it for our grade 5 webinar. We would also like to offer this chance for our public schools in Cavite to be our next beneficiary of a 2-story school building. If your school has a student population of at least 1,000 and has a lot located along a main road or highway, then please apply now by submitting the requirements online, as you can already see it on the screen. To be regularly updated with our upcoming training programs and other initiatives in education, please also follow our Facebook page at facebook.com/securitybank. Join also our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/SBFI webinars, so that you could be updated with these webinars. Subscribe also to our YouTube channel and share our Ready Set Read videos for your students at youtube.com/c/securitybank foundation, or you may visit our webpage at securitybank.com/sustainability/educational videos. Again, it has been a pleasure being with you this morning. Thank you very much. This is Carlo of Security Bank Foundation saying stay safe and keep warm. Maraming salamat po at magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Salamat po, maraming salamat po at pag-ingat po kayo lahat.